I want to end with Bitcoin, though, because the cryptocurrency is now sinking below 8,000 and down more than 6% in the last week. Brian Kelly of Brian Kelly Capital joins us on the phone for more on what's behind the sell-off and the next big catalyst for the crypto space. Okay, Brian, I know you're probably not going to tell me that things are all going lower from here because you really happen to like this Bitcoin thing. So tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, with the caveat that you never ask about a barber if you need a haircut, recognizing
Yes.
that I'm long. But nonetheless, it does feel like the market has turned here. We've had a string of positive news come out, particularly starting with Ethereum being declared not a security by the SEC, or at least given that guidance. We've seen multiple companies like Fidelity, like BlackRock, looking into it. I can tell you from people that I'm talking to, there is definitely more of a buzz of money coming into this sector. So we've had a pretty good run from 5,800 up to 8,300, 8,400 or so. Minor correction here. We're down 6% this week. But you have to remember, Bitcoin can move 5% in any given day. So while it might seem crazy to the legacy markets in the Bitcoin world, this is just a normal correction.
Okay, so then if it could move higher 5% in any given day, what would be a catalyst that would take it up 5% any given day so that we can be prepared and positioned to take advantage of that if it happens?
So the buzz is still around an ETF, and I think there's two big hurdles that we still need to cross before we can really talk seriously about an ETF. And that, number one, is a regulated U.S. exchange. Something like, back in, I guess it was May, the New York Stock Exchange and ICE announced that they would be coming out with an exchange. If that exchange comes out and it's regulated, that would get us a step closer to the ETF. Number two would be institutional. Yep.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Brian. Finish that thought.
We need custody is the other part of it. We need that institutional quality custody.
What I wanted to say to you, this sell-off, this little bit of a sell-off, preceded, it was the Winklevoss twins being denied on their ETF. What do you think is better for the market? An ETF that is exclusively Bitcoin or one that's a basket of a bunch of coins?
I don't know about better for the market. I think it's unlikely that a basket will get passed before Bitcoin does, because the issues that apply to Bitcoin that the SEC has cited apply to all the coins out there. In general, investing, I generally like a basket, of diversified coins, because I don't know if Bitcoin is going to be the winner. I remind myself every day that MySpace existed well before Facebook.
Hey, BK, it's Scott. I know that you are prefacing much of this when it comes to an ETF, a Bitcoin ETF, but 3 of the 4 SEC commissioners were appointed by Donald Trump. Isn't this as good as it's ever going to get from the SEC? Isn't this your very best opportunity when it comes to getting the SEC to approve a Bitcoin ETF?
Politically, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think this is a good environment. The SEC has been very thoughtful about their regulation of the space so far. But I don't think necessarily the holdup is political here. I think the holdup is structural within the ecosystem. It's just not quite ready for prime time yet.
All right.
No, my point is, really quickly, politically, this is as good as it's ever going to get. If there are commissioners who are going to look past the structural issues and say, hey, innovation and competition can solve the problems, this is as good as it's going to get. So if these people can't look past the structural problems, then what will change as far as the SEC is concerned to get what you want? And aren't the issues that you talk about, both custody and a regulated exchange, aren't those a long way off still?
Actually, well, no, I don't think they're a long way off. I think they're probably Q4 of 2018. So I think that's coming in the next 4 to 6 months or so. But to your point that, we're in an environment where there's less regulation and this is the best opportunity to get something new through, I totally agree with you that this is, the time, the iron is hot, it's time to strike.